Hello everyone, welcome to TFT 5 for T21 aspirants. Though it's quite a bit late and we are posting it right now, still we believe that education never stops, learning never stops. So even if it's at night, we should be ready to study. We are going to start a new topic today. It is sociology as science. There are 3 subtopics under it. So we are going to study science, scientific method and critique. Okay, these are small portions, yet they are very much important. We started with the emergence of sociology, then we came to scope, then we read about common sense and its difference from sociology. Now we are going to start the journey ahead, that means sociology as a science. Before understanding sociology as a science, we should know what this science is. What is it? We have tried to gather 5 features which are common to all the science subjects. First one is empiricism. Anything that is observed is known as empiricism. For example, in the case of Newton's law, he observed that the apple fell down. That was empirical observation. Okay. Second one is known as testing. Testing under controlled environment. This is also known as experiment. So when that apple fell down, after that they must have experimented, they must have observed many trees T1, T2, T3 and observed the apples whether they were also falling freely or not without any external force. Then they understood that yes, they were falling, therefore they thought that there must be a rational explanation, and after a lot of research they understood about this gravity, the gravitational force. After this rational explanation, they had to find facts, or they had to collect data. Collection of data led to the formula and the value of g, that was 9.8 meters per second square. This was known as acceleration due to gravity. And they must have gone to other places, also measured at different places, and found that g was almost same at all the places on the earth. Even at equator poles there was a slight difference, yet it was nearer to this value. So when we think of any subject as a science, for example sociology, then it should fulfill this criteria, these 5 characteristics. Now how does a science conduct its research? There is a scientific method, there is a proper procedure, and it starts with formulation of the problem. For example, the apple fell down, that was the problem. Then formulation of the hypothesis, that means there must be a force acting, observation and collection of data, observation of the apples falling, collection of data, measurement of maybe time taken or height, analysis and synthesis, finding of correlation, trying to find a cause effect kind of relation, or perhaps trying to find a formula. So this could come only after analyzing and synthesizing the data observed, and when they came to a conclusion that yes, the apple was under the force of gravity and it was acting under acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meters per second square. Now it was time to test it at other places also, and it was found that this was g acted at different places, at poles, at equators, and in America, in India, in South Africa, and then they came up with a generalized law, theory as well as law. This example which I mentioned, the problem was, why does an apple fall to the ground? And there must be a force either pushing from the tree or pulling from the ground. Observation and then collection of data, observe other apples, data, that means the time taken to fall down, the height, and analysis, that means a pattern was found and the value was calculated. This was known as acceleration due to gravity. Generalized, that means it was observed in other places also. And finally, a formula came up and the law was named. This is the scientific procedure or the scientific. We talk of sociology, we should test whether this scientific method can be applied to sociology or not. It has certain limitations when we try to apply it on sociology. The first one is experimental method. Here, when we try to control social factors, then we find that they cannot be controlled. So, when we cannot control something, then how can we experiment it? How can we reproduce the same result after every experimentation? Similarly, there is no difference in the cause and effect in case of sociology. For example, we do not know whether poverty causes beggary or it's the other way around. So it is difficult to clearly demarcate that this is the cause and this is the effect, and that is why in the cause and effect the sociology as a subject, as a science, it fails. Another point is the social phenomena cannot be touched, cannot be measured, cannot be isolated. They are intangible, making the process of experimentation all the more difficult. Fourth point is that the social data is quite complex because of the complexity of the human behavior. Fifth point is unpredictable. This is because of the dynamic society. For example, a protest, it may start as a peaceful movement and later on become violent. So this is quite unpredictable, and while a second protest may go on smoothly. Therefore, we cannot draw any conclusion on the basis of such social phenomena. The sixth point consists of sociologist. Sociologist, when he or she is observing the society, then they are also a part of the data, because being human beings, it is difficult for them to control their own ideas and prejudices. Thus, a sociologist is an observer as well as the observed. But in pure sciences, in physical sciences, there is a demarcation. The scientist is only the observer, he or she is not the observed. How did the early sociologists react to this debate of sociology as science? They were divided into two schools. The first one were the positivists. They believed that society could be studied scientifically because there was something known as social facts which were external and they were constraining in nature. They were the norms, values, social structures like religion, economy. They put pressure on mankind externally, thus producing a reaction. Just like in the sciences, and there is an external force and it produces a reaction in the object of study. Similarly, Durkheim said that social facts, it acts on human beings and causes he or she to act in a certain manner. For example, in the case of suicide, this happens. Society produces pressure and the individual cannot take it any longer and he or she commits suicide. He gave certain types also which we are going to study while doing topic 4. Also, he stressed on the universality of social facts because he observed that suicide was prevalent in different societies also. Therefore, he said that when we are studying suicide sociologically, that means sociology is a science. The positivists, while taking the case of sociology as a science, they said that a scientific method need not be empirical. That means it is not necessary for it to conduct those experiments just like the natural sciences, and sociology will have a different measuring yard, a different benchmark to qualify for science or scientific discipline. So what will that measuring yard be? It will be that sociology will have a methodology, and therefore this methodology will be known as a sociological perspective, which will give it the criteria for a science. These points can be enumerated as below. Sociology is different from the ordinary way of looking at things, events. It studies social relationships, patterns, it classifies them, it finds meaning even in the daily mundane tasks and rituals, and it finds values. It tries to find out what lies beneath. For example, solidarity, family ties. It tries to look beyond ordinary or natural explanations, and it tries to look at the latent functions which is hidden. For example, there are many rituals where people come together. For example, there is something known as a rain dance, where people dance in order to please the rain gods. So the manifest function, the outward function, that is the observable function, is to bring rain, but in actuality the hidden function is that it is a form of solidarity, strengthening the community. Thus sociology, you can say, is also an analytical discipline, and all these features, it gives sociology the right to be called a discipline. Therefore sociology is a science as per the positivists, and with a unique point of view and also a unique perspective. But from the point of view of non-positivists, they said that it is not a science, and because there are many limitations in the scientific method. Now who were these anti or non-positivists? They were the phenomenologists, the ethnomethodologists, symbolic interactionists, and also Weber, one of the major thinkers, who we are going to study in topic 4. Therefore you should remember these names. That is all for today, and the source that you will be studying is Nitin Sangwan, chapter 2, topic Science, Scientific Method and Critique, and this lecture is almost sufficient regarding the syllabus, whatever you have to study, but please study Nitin Sangwan too. We are going to provide some detailed notes later on, but we will do it once few other subtopics are completed. Then you will be able to interrelate things properly, because for a holistic understanding it is advisable not to go for note making right now, because if you go for note making right now, it will be fragmented. You will understand only a portion of what you are to study. That's all for today. Happy weekend. Please keep revising, and all the best.